Hi, I'm Michael Allison. I'm the Commercial Director at Roma Finance, and welcome to another edition of RomaTalks, where I'm joined from people across the property industry and also our colleagues at Roma as well. And today I'm joined by the institution of Roma Finance, employee number one, no doubt. I'm joined by Mr. Daniel Hill.
Hi, Michael. You all right?
I'm very good, thanks. All right. So, Dan, obviously, you're employee number one. I think you were employed before Scott at Roma. But for those people, and I don't think there'll be many who don't, but those people who don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Roma.
Yeah, so I joined Roma Finance in 2014 in January. Where I met Scott was I was in one of my delicatessens, where my family's got delicatessens across the North Manchester, and Scott bumped into me and was asking what I was doing. I said I was working for a PPI company, which I really didn't like, and then Scott offered me a job. So he said to me, do you want a job? And I was like joking at first. I thought he was joking at first. He said, I've got a lending company based in Manchester. So he said, let's have a chat and have a coffee. And then we met up, went through a couple of deals and stuff like that, show me his funding partners behind him. And since then, I've been at Roma.
So you were actually a Delicatessen, working in PPI. You've been in financial services previously, but obviously 2008.
Yeah, so basically what happened, I worked for another bridging company called Domain Finance, which is now called Together. Scott worked there, and yourself, I worked with yourself at Together as well. So I was there for like 6 years at Together, got made redundant in like 2009, just bought a house, and then I got made redundant, and then I had to get a job straight away because I had no money left. So I jumped into PPI, did that for 2 years, did a bit of admin, bit of collections, bit of anything just to keep the money flowing through. And then I bumped into Scott in October, I think 2013. And ever since then, we had a chat, met his funding partners, and then joined Roma in January 2014.
Yeah. So has much changed since January 2014 for Roma?
Yes. Since 2014, we've moved offices 3 times. When we were first there, we were in a little cupboard where there was no shutters.
Literally a cupboard.
Yeah, it was like a little. It was a little cupboard at the back where the shutters didn't work. It was just me in a room on my own for about 6 months, and then Scott joined the company probably about 9 months later. So basically, the way it worked, Scott was working for a different part of the company for another director. So basically, for the first 9 months, I was doing doing application forms, product guides, doing the website, profit calcs, trying to get Roma's name out in the market. At first, it was challenging because they thought Roma was a broker, not a lender. So we had to change the website. We had to change how we did it. It was hard, but it was enjoyable. We were doing like 7 days a week, because when we did actually get a deal, me and Scott was getting in our car, going around the country, meeting every borough, because at first we were a small lender and it was only a small bit of private money. So we had to make sure we did our DD on the customer, understand what they were doing, the needs, before lending to him. So it was good, it was enjoyable, it was hard, but since roll on 11 years, Roma's a different animal in the market. It's enjoyable. We've got about 63 staff.
It was enjoyable back then as well.
Yeah, it was it was enjoyable, but it was a lot not harder, but it was different, very different, because it was longer hours. Because my girlfriend, who's my wife, was like saying, "Why are you joining a company that you don't even know what's going to actually happen?" So it was good. I just fancied the challenge because within PPI, I didn't really like it. I liked doing property because I had a couple of buy-to-lets myself and my brother. My granddad, he was a big entrepreneur. He had Delicatessen, property. So I wanted to get back into blending because I really enjoyed it, because I like going to see customers, building relationships, and being on the ground as well, understanding their customers' needs, etc. So I really enjoyed it, really.
So really, I think what it sounds like as well, the reason you was willing to work with Scott is you're from a family of entrepreneurs and having a go. So,
The thing is, my ideal was my granddad. He was very entrepreneurial. He was from Ukraine. He came over when there was war. He set up his own greengrocers, and then he had quite a few properties. So my idol is my granddad. So if he can do it from a different country, I thought, why can't I not join a company that's small off and then actually grow and flourish? So it was a gamble, but a gamble that I really enjoyed doing.
Brilliant. I love that. That, you know, it's interesting. As kids, we always look up to our granddads, our dads, mums, nans. You take those values, don't you? And that's what makes you the people that you are.
Yeah, because my granddad said, always invest your money in property and always save. So ever since a young age, that's what I've done. And I've enjoyed it. So when we got married, bought a new house, bigger house and stuff, that done that up. And it thing is, you look at people in life as your mentors, and like my granddad is probably one of my biggest mentors.
That's fantastic. My dad's advice was always do overtime. You know, always do as much work as you can.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. So fast forwarding on, obviously, it was your 10th year last year. Roma's 15 years. So Scott had his 5-year side hustle.
Yeah.
Which we talked about previously. So over the course of that 10 years, a lot's happened with Roma, a lot's happened in the industry, a lot's happened with products. It must be, it must be incredible to look back. Last year was our record lending year, 63 colleagues, and all we see is growth ahead. What's been your favourite moment across those 10, 11 years?
I think every year's been good and challenging. It's different things, like targets have changed. We've had different funding lines. I think what's been challenging is also watching people who've started off, like maybe in case packaging, like Alicia, who's moved on to senior BDM. Like even Cole, he was in completions. Now he's gone key accounts working myself. And they're just watching people learn and grow and doing better for themselves. And if the way it works, if we do well, the company does well, we all do well. And it's good to see that from a company to like when I joined in 2013, where we had no funding line, to now we've got like 10 different funding lines. And Scott and yourself and the treasury team are looking at different funding lines every day probably, is that everyone wants to be a part of Roma. Like we just having different partners that want to join and be a part of Roma basically, and watching it grow, and then hopefully should also be one of the biggest lenders in the UK. Absolutely. Bridging lenders in the UK, specialists.
Absolutely. And one of the big things that we and it's interesting you talked about your 7 days a week and go and meet in every borough. One thing we like to do is keep that human touch relationships. You've built some real strong relationships over the years, haven't you? How have you maintained them as we've grown as a business?
I think it's just organising your day as well. Is like the way you got to do it is you got to do some days as your admin days, and then you've also got to keep building them relationships with customers, because customers like a personal touch. So if you've got out there on site and understanding what they're doing and understanding their family, it makes it more easier to. You don't really need to sell. It's about relationships, and it's good because when you're on site, they're probably thinking about their next project. So we've got quite a few customers at the moment where we're doing quite a lot in the background that we should have record months with them at the moment. So it's just once you've got the trust of that relationship, they're going to come back because you're honest, you're hardworking, you're always there, you're always at the end of the phone. And if it's a customer in the local in the northwest, it's just getting your car and actually go and see them. And that's what I enjoy the most, is actually going on site, seeing different projects, understanding their goals and what they want to do in life as well. I think it's really interesting.
I think people like to talk about the businesses, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, we like to talk about what we do, but people like that platform and that ability to sharing the successes of what they've done, talk about a few issues that they've got and see if we can help them navigate it. Definitely. Good. You've changed, obviously, your role as Roma's grown, your role has changed. You've done a few different bits. For the last few years, you've always led our key accounts, but now you're heading up our telephone sales team as well. How have you found that transition into leadership?
I think it's been, it's not been difficult. It's been different, like because I've got to spend more time with the team as well. I've got to now like schedule my day where I've got to check in with my colleagues, spending time with them, sitting with them, training them. If they've got any questions, helping them, and then just being there to support them to actually make them success as well. I want everyone to do well at Roma.
Yeah. So you're spinning those plates, and you've got your own targets, but you're putting that knowledge back into the team and the wider team as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
And we've recently done our Flow, Grow and Pro launch. Which product set have you really liked using over your time?
I do like the Flow one because it's quick and fast, where you're in and out, but you can also get good customers out there where they're starting off small and then they're going to be doing the Grow and then they're going to do the Pro. So I've got quite a few customers probably in the Grow and Pro. But it's good. I like the quick ones where you're completing within 28 days, the auction purchases, where you're just turning them over. But it's also good if you can get customers like local as well, even down south, but getting a relationship with them. So they go to the Grow and then the Pro. But we've got quite a few customers where they're Grow and Pro, where they're going on to the term buy-to-let products, where we're doing portfolios as well, where we're doing not just one property, maybe up to 15 properties. And
they're releasing a little bit of equity to keep them.
Yeah.
Because it is a bit of a buyer's market at the moment, isn't it?
Definitely. And also you're tying that relationship in for another 5 years, where they're going to be thinking of Roma and then they've got another project and then you can start again and then you can go through the process again where you can actually get them onto the Pro range as well. And then hopefully in the new year we should be launching other products as well. So we could also get them products out to them customers as well.
Definitely. I think the idea is that we have a unique ability that we can move customers through the product set. We can help them acquire it through using our bridging, we can help them build it using our Grow range, or we can help them derive an income or repeat income and build that long-term capital appreciation using the Pro range, the term range. So I think we've got those, and we know the type of things that we like. How would you describe as an ideal Roma borrower? Just interested if that's changed or...
No, where I like the deals where they're buying a poor property and they're adding value. So they buy a property at auction, they might spend say 20, 30 grand, and then now because we've got the Pro range in, we can put them onto the buy to let. Because I've got one customer at the moment where they bought two apartments in Manchester where it had cladding issues, but we've actually got them. Because they were a good customer, we spoke to our funding lines and we were able to put them onto the term product. So not other lenders would do that, but it all got signed off by our funding lines where it's a good customer.
And the cladding issues are being resolved.
And the cladding issues are being resolved in the next 6 weeks. I can see it from
the office, can't I?
Yeah.
that particular property as well, so we know it.
Yeah. We actually walked down first to do the bridge, and then we've seen all the documentation for the cladding. Yeah. It's going to be all finished in the next 6 weeks, and then we can put them onto the term product.
So really, you only understand that though by talking to the customer.
Yeah, and actually going on site as well.
Yeah. Even though that one wasn't that far.
Yeah, even that far. It was walking distance.
I know, so you didn't even have to put an expense claim in.
No, didn't I?
Good for me as well.
No mileage.
No mileage. Good. So what's next then, Dan, for Roma, for you?
I think next for Roma is probably trying to hit our targets, do better than we did last year, help the team, make everyone improve, make sure they hit their targets, work as a team as well. Keep that culture where we're like a family-oriented company, and watching people grow. Really, that's the big aim. Really.
Good. And outside of Roma, what's your time spent doing?
My time is with my family. I've got a wife and I've got a daughter. But I do like going to the gym, like doing boxing. I've started doing a running club on a Thursday in the morning as well.
What time in the morning is it? I think.
It was yesterday. I woke up at 3:30, but we don't start running till 4:30 in the morning. So we do either 5 or 10k, where there's about 10 of us, and then after that we do a boxing class as well. So at the moment this year, I've been focusing on my fitness, trying to stay leaner than normal. I enjoy doing sports and stuff like boxing and like high rocks sessions and stuff like that. So we're just trying to keep fit really. Because I've got a little daughter who's 3 and she's running around, so I don't want to be going on holiday with a dad bod. I want to actually look half decent.
And for anyone with a dad bod like myself, it is okay to go on holiday with that.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Or just me and Dan will probably never go on holiday together.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, brilliant.
Only joking.
Well, no, but I think it is key, isn't it? You know, keeping yourself. Work is brilliant.
Yeah.
What we always say is that what you've got to, you work for a reason.
Yeah.
Your reason. You seem, well, we know you're a very family orientated person, and at Roma we like to keep that family orientation going as well.
And also, you need time on your own as well, because you're working all the time, you're with your family, and this is like my you time where I spend like an hour and a half every couple of days of just actually spending time on myself, because you do need a break from work, your family, just to have you time, really.
I suppose you've been through those bits as well, of redundancies in the past,
Yeah.
and the 7 days a week, and will it work, will it not work, and all that. So, you know, you've seen those times of adversity as well, I guess.
Definitely.
Good. Listen, Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. I think it's been great for people to hear a little bit more behind the deal machine.
Yeah.
It's always good to do that. And listen, thanks very much for joining us. And thank you for watching us as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.